with all those competing things, right? How did you guys work together and decide what kind of rose to the top in making the decision on the house?
Yeah, so I think through some family discussions and then really through prayer, we kind of felt like we were supposed to be really singularly focused on our business, and knowing that that was going to be the main reason why we're moving and what we're moving to accomplish, getting more space for inventory. And so when that kind of rose to the top, we knew it had to have at least a four-car garage or a barn or a large storage shed or warehouse or something like that. And so that really narrowed the search a lot.
Right.
And then we found this house, which was close to Katie's family, which was high on her list. So one of the things that was a surprise to us was that soon after we told Katie's parents that we were going to be moving out to the suburbs and closer to our oldest sister, they told us that they had randomly, impulsively just bought a house 3 minutes down the road from us. So we were so great. We were so awesome living, minutes away from them in Pleasant Ridge, and then moving out to Loveland, 20 minutes from our old house. They bought a house in Loveland as well.
So your action kind of prompted that, even though it was kind of the unintended consequence of you guys moving out here.
Yeah.
You thought they were going to be with you potentially, but they came.
Right.
They made that decision once you guys made the decision to move.
Right, absolutely. And we touched on factors behind why we're moving and where we want to move. And we didn't say it before, but really the highest priority for us, I think, was community and who we were going to be living by.
Yeah.
And we always knew we wanted it to be family. So this house was close to Katie's oldest sister, and our kids are close with their cousins. But it was really hard for us to leave Grandma and Grandpa. And then they followed us. So it really, being close to family has been a big priority for us. And
with both of our previous, the last two house buying experiences, that was what we wanted to focus on more than anything else as we picked a house. And it was competing a little bit this time with needing the inventory space, because that was also a really high priority. But we hoped we'd be able to work out a situation with both of them, and God totally aligned it, so it did. So.
Yeah. Well, I think what's really interesting, you set off, you kind of picture this thing in your mind as a buyer, and you're like, this is the perfect house, and I'm going to find this perfect house. Right. And more often than not, that's not going to happen, right? Where you check off every single box. Yeah. And so I just want to commend you guys for working together through that, because we were at that other house closer to the city where you're like, love this location, but it didn't check off the boxes of being closer to family, and you guys worked really well. And then even kind of got this bonus, I feel like, afterwards of family moving once you chose this place.
Go ahead.
Well, and I was going to say, we've talked about a lot of the pros of this house, the good things, but there also were a lot of downsides of this house too, and a lot of reasons why we didn't
please share.
Well, first of all was the price. It was outside of our budget. Now, the way that we felt like we were led to move forward with it is because of the apartment that we had, that we thought Katie's parents might live in, is we're actually going to Airbnb it and make some extra rental income by renting that out. And then another thing was the size. We wanted more space for the inventory. We wanted a 4-car garage, but we didn't want all the house that came with it. And so it's been... we lived in an 1,100 square foot house and actually really enjoyed it. It forced us to be on top of each other. It forced us to be together. It forced us to kind of be minimalists with the purchases and the things that we kept in our house, and be really intentional with everything that came in and get rid of stuff we didn't need. And then now we've moved into a really big home, and that was actually, I know some people are looking for that, but it was actually a little bit of a turnoff for us. We wanted a smaller home.
I remember when we walked through this, and we were like, oh, please don't say it keeps going. Please don't keep going. I was like, oh, there's a whole other bedroom back there now. It just felt, like Brent said, it was a really big sacrifice for us to move down, to downsize so much, but we loved it. We ended up loving living small, and then moving to this. You talked about that quote about like the house shaping you. And I think that was one thing I didn't want this house to shape me to be. I didn't want it to be like accumulate more stuff. Like now that you have more space, you can have more stuff. Like I still wanted to only keep what we absolutely needed and loved. And I didn't want it to be like, it's a bigger house, so now we can all be in different rooms from each other. So there was a slight element, like as I was preparing and thinking through some of these questions that you had for us, it was like, there were things that this house has shaped for us, like definitely a spirit of gratitude, and like we're very thankful for kind of some of the niceties in this house that our last one didn't have. But there were certain things about this house that we didn't want to shape us, and we didn't want it to be like we're living big, we're living large, and dividing out.
Well, what's cool is that that's on the forefront as we hear the napping.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
So we might wrap it up, but like that was on the forefront of your mind, and is, and so even while you're living here, you can be thinking through, okay, what are we going to do to keep tight? You know, all the furniture stays in this room only, or whatever those things
and
are.
And if there's empty rooms, then great. You know, there's empty rooms, and that's good too.
So we talked about some of the challenges, I guess, of the house, and even buying the house itself. The whole contract to close process was more difficult than we wanted it to be in a lot of ways. Tell us about some of the benefits of the home that you guys see, the things that you really love about it.
Okay. Yeah, so, you know, the part that you alluded to, the sellers were going through some personal stuff, and there was the home was in a little bit of disrepair and holes in walls and doors and stuff like that, and the negotiations and whatnot was difficult. And so at closing, we had a really uneasy feeling at closing, feeling like, is this the right thing? You know, all along this has been more difficult than we expected, and it just kind of felt a little bit dark and maybe not right. But we went through with closing, and after closing, everything has felt really blessed. Things have been easier than we expected. Things have gone smoother than we've expected. We've definitely still had some bumps in the road. But it's been, I mean, Katie and I constantly, I mean, probably daily, look at each other and say, I can't believe this is our home. We feel so blessed to be here. And so some of those things that we've loved, it really has been just it being a safe place for our kids who have plenty of space to play and who have space where they can go and learn, and we have a dedicated homeschool space, and so I think that's a big thing for us. It's been cold, but the yard and having an outdoor space is something that we're really excited about and that we love about the house. And then obviously now we have a 4-car garage and a large basement for inventory, so we can continue to do the business from home and be around our kids, and share responsibilities of work and family. So kind of integrate the whole business family thing.
And it's like really, maybe being a woman, it's like really little like intangible kind of things where it was like, our kids all day long are like running laps, and like when I saw this house I was like, there's like a circuit for them, you know, like it's a circle that they can run and they can do their Matchbox cars and they can do races, and like there's a laundry chute upstairs, and it's like that would not have been on my must-haves or even wish boards, but like it delights the kids to no end to like drop their stuffed animals down there or their coats or whatever, and somebody's down catching it, and they just think that's so fun. And like having a working fireplace, like it's these little things that it's like it just feels like a home, like it feels like a family place and cozy and like a place where we can make really great family memories.
It's awesome. Well, it's so satisfying as a real estate agent to hear that, by the way. You
probably were really nervous at closing.
Well, it was a tough journey. It was. And, we had conversations about your previous home and how much that felt right for your family and how you were led into that. And this was a struggle getting here. So to hear since closing that it's kind of, gotten better and better and felt more and more right, it's really pleasing to hear. I'm really happy about that. Really happy about that. So just to kind of wrap us up, you've kind of alluded to some of this, but where do you see your guys as a family in this house going forward? Like, shaping your family, I guess, as you guys go forward here in the next few years.
Yeah, I think as I picture the future, I think a big part of my vision would be hospitality, inviting other people in, friends, and specifically family, because we live so close to Katie's sisters and because we live close to her parents now. Again, I feel like that's really the biggest thing that I have in my mind for vision for the future is having friends and family over and being hospitable. But then in terms of the business, having space for the businesses to continue to grow and homeschool.
There's only like 1 or 2 projects to do left on the house, right?
I don't know if it'll look like way when we do the tour, but I totally agree with that. I think Brenda's out of town family. We're looking forward to being able to host them and not feeling like they're put off from coming to visit because we're all going to be on top of each other in a little tiny house. I love the idea that they'll be able to stay in this house with us or in the guest house if like his whole family and their sisters come and everything. And I love that there's like flexibility in the spaces. Like as our business continues to grow, it's great to have inventory space already dedicated in the garage and basement. But it's like if we got to the point where we wanted to, hire employees, like we could turn that guest house into like office space, or have somebody working in that 4th bedroom. So like there's like different possibilities for as our business grows too, that I think this house will be fun to see how it adapts with that.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's cool. Well, I'm excited to watch your family grow in this house, and I'm excited for all of those different floating priorities you had, to see so many of them get met through this house. So thank you, Brent and Katie, for opening your home and sharing your home story with us.
Thank you for